1670, the king was Louis XVI, the queen was Marie Antoinette. The old regime was still in place, and France was divided into three estates of different social class. The first two estates lived in extravagance. They were made up of the nobles and the clergy. But the third estate lived their lives in poverty. They were made up of the peasants and some scattered bourgeoisie. The taxes were high and the people wanted bread, but Louis was too focused on whether he was well fed. Eventually he called the Estates General into place, and that was when things started to change. The third estate called themselves the National Assembly. They soon got locked out of their meeting room, so they broke down the doors to a tennis court and vowed to stay until the Constitution was made. Meanwhile, in Paris, the rumors flew. The people were scared for their lives. The peasants stormed the Bastille and chaos ensued. They paraded people's heads around on pikes. The women were mad and they still wanted bread, so they marched to Versailles and demanded Marie's head. Instead, the two monarchs were corralled to Paris, and France was soon divided yet again. The National Assembly wrote the rights of man, but they made a mistake when they took over the church lands. Louis tried to escape, but it didn't quite go well. Still, they made the Legislative Assembly. But in 1792, war was tearing France apart. Austria and Prussia were on top by far. So they set aside the new constitution and made another new government called the National Convention, led primarily by a group of radicals called the Jacobins. Long story short, a guy named Robespierre was head of the Committee of Public Safety. Wasn't very safe. France came out of the war by drafting citizens. Danton had his head chopped off. Marat was murdered in a bathtub. Suddenly France was gripped by terror. Too many people died by the guillotine. The end came with the execution of Robespierre. He went sort of crazy. And then Napoleon came. But that's another